Boom! What's up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I am your host, A.D. Walker. Appreciate you guys for being here, rocking with us as always. Um, Blessings, Lisa. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for caring. We appreciate you guys for being a part of all that we do. Um, what's up, Richard? Appreciate you, my brother. Make sure, make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Also, join our text community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. Never miss what's going on with the Legacy Walker Network, as well as tonight. Make sure you are part of the Sisters of Legacy at 8:30. All right. So today we're talking about consistency. I was watching a couple of YouTube videos and some time ago, and I've noticed a pattern of success comes from consistency, or the success that you are seeking comes from a level of consistency, as well as consistency can also, hey, what's up, Kathy? Wonderful Tuesday to you. Consistency can also create a divide if misaligned or focused in the wrong spaces. And, we're going to get into that as well. But the main thing is, whatever your goals are, it's going to take consistent action. And we're going to delve into that, what that means, how you can be more consistent, and some of the things that I did, because a lot of this is always, a lot of my personal journey. When my brothers are on, I know a lot of their journey and what has made them successful as well. And some of the ingredients to being successful is, the number one thing is consistency in a particular space, whatever that may look like. All right. So I want you guys to do me three favors. One, if you're in the YouTube space, make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you're in the Facebook space, make sure you are sharing as well, tagging somebody else, and make sure you join in our text community. Text LW to 84576, and you never miss anything going on. Three things. That's it. That's all. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and kick this off. We have a great conversation about consistency. All right, we'll be right back. I want to welcome you to the Brothers of Legacy broadcast, where we are changing our community one conversation at a time, every day.
We are creating a new legacy.
Change gon' come, change gon' come, change gon' come, change gon' come, change gon' come.
A co-op has to start with ownership. Right. We have a mindset of either I want to make a lot of money or survive. Make a bunch of money or I got to figure out how to survive.
When you have a real bond, when everyone has, we come in with real expectations. Mm-hmm. Because this is covenant.
The whole thing is that we as a people, with our money and time, aren't often making this journey possible, often invested in the legacy.
You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up.
All right, guys, welcome back. Like I said, today we're talking about consistency. Some time ago, like I said, I was watching a video. Gentleman by the name of Simon. I can't remember his last name. He wrote the Book of Why, and he spoke about like going to the gym. We go to the gym. We have our goal is to either like lose weight or to gain muscle. and some of both. I want to lose the weight and gain the muscle. And we go, and he said, if you go the first day, look in the mirror, looks the same. Go the second day, look in the mirror, pretty much it's gonna look the same. You know, by the third day, it's still looking the same. Nobody knows quantifiably, you know, when the change happens. And so it made sense, he said, but the goal is just to be consistent, creating a habit in order to become what you're consistently doing. And a lot of our life and growth and even some of our bad decisions are based on consistent habits and the things that we do. Quick caveat, I don't know if you heard it earlier, there's a thunderstorm. So at any time, all this could just shut down. All right, so just letting you know. So appreciate you guys for watching. So if it does, I'm saying my goodbye right now. So I appreciate you guys for being here though. And again, make sure you share. So the goal is to become what you consistently do, or maybe not. I take that back, because you know some of us have bad habits that we consistently do. That's creating, that becomes part of our character. So for me, you know, there was a consistency of at least working, which is great. You know, I'm employee, I'm there on time. What's up, Deborah? Good morning. I'm there on time and just being that employee, being a superstar, and that's where your focus is. Man, I'm trying to remember. I think Pastor said it, or I've heard it before. Where your focus is, or that's where your energy goes. If I think I might have said that right. Or where your energy is, that's where your focus is at. Something of that nature. But pretty much where your power speaks. Yes, my bad, brother. I need to, right? Hold. All right, and we're gonna keep going. Peace, be still. Having that I've lost my thought. Working, and the problem was I had a consistency of outward work, and that was my focus, but I was losing my house, if that makes sense. I was focused on the provider aspect, but not the full leading as a man aspect. I had one part, boom, I was on top of, but I wasn't consistent, or I was what I did in the house, which was to my detriment. You know, I come home, I'm tired, you get about 3 minutes, and then I'm asleep, going back to work. And not that I didn't engage or interact, it wasn't consistent enough to help my household, if that makes sense. You know, so it wasn't helping in the growth. I was just kind of in a rat race, right? And until I realized that I wanted more out of life, house provider, husband, father, definitely. But sometimes as a man, you get stuck in that provider mentality, and that's all you do. You know, that's where most of your energy is at. You know, and it could be based on how you grew up. You know, if the struggle was real, anything, I'm gonna be a provider. My providing skills is gonna be top notch. But for me, it's just what I've always seen, and not realizing that being a husband and being a father is more than just, you know, providing is up there, but it shouldn't necessarily be the number one, you know, because you need to be home to provide that security, that safety, that prayer, the spirituality, the comfort, in the love that you show toward your family. And it wasn't that I just didn't do it in a consistent manner where it was effective enough to secure my household, if that makes sense. So in essence, I was losing them, but gaining rank at work. So today I just kind of want to talk about, aligning your consistency into the things that you really want to happen in a 360, in the full spectrum of your life. We want our finances to be tight. We want our family life to be on fire, as well as, we want either our business or anything that we're trying to build outside of everything else to create a legacy. So there's a consistency that you need to have, and your consistency creates a character or expectations. Hey, good morning, Mama McCoy. Appreciate you being here. And we have to have a mindset that whatever it is that we're trying to achieve, whatever it is that we're trying to get to, that we have the consistent habits in order to get there. So today I just want you guys to think about what is it that you're doing daily, right? We've talked in previous broadcasts about the process. What's your process to getting to your goals? What's your process to creating the life that you want to have? And the process is a formula of consistency on a daily basis in order to get there. And I always say daily because there's always something you're doing or something you can do that you just can get you just that much closer to creating the life that you want. It's funny because a lot of like my meetings, the people I'm connected to, the business and productivity that I have has been created based on my consistency, based on being out there, being available, and then stepping out of my comfort space. And it's funny because I really thought about it because I missed the mark yesterday. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I was like, I can't believe I fell into like an old habit of pulling in when I should have reached out. But the consistency in doing so allows you to create a space, that you've always wanted to see. Like for me, I Brothers of Legacy morphed basically. It started off with me and another brother and two other brothers, basically sharing our live streams, sharing who we are in order to bring eyes upon us. And then it morphed more into like wanting to form a brotherhood and start connecting with more men, getting men to talk, getting men to speak up and reach out, seeing the issues in schools and things of that nature. And I realized, to get to these spaces, right? It's one thing to have a goal. It's one thing to want something particular to happen in your life. It's another thing to set forth a plan for that thing to happen and to be consistent enough for something to come into fruition. Because it takes time. Of course, we know it takes time, but like I said in the beginning, the workout, right? You know what you want, but you have to change your lifestyle in order to get there. You have to begin to work out. So that takes going to the gym like every day or every other day, but in a consistent manner in order to reach your goal. That's the main thing I want to kind of preach to you, tell you. The one thing I want you to get out of this broadcast is whatever the goal you're trying to get to, there has to be a consistent habit for that thing to happen. And it's not enough to have the faith to want it. It's not enough to do some of the work to get it, but it's to create the habits of consistency in order to get to the space where things can change, right? So we want things to change and we believe it. We got the faith, faith, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. We have that substance of faith, but we aren't putting in consistent work. Now, I know faith without works is dead, but what kind of work are you putting into? Because like I said, had a misaligned consistency, and basically if your consistency is misaligned, then it can create a divide. Sam says, so did BOL just start, or is this a manifestation of who you have always been or wanted to be? I don't know. I guess it's more of a something that I wanted to get to or wanted to be a part of. And it seems like a lot of my life, I couldn't find the space to get into something that fit what I saw as brotherhood. I'll say it that way. So I guess I was tasked with the with the vision to create that space. So yeah, I guess it's always been that way. I think since I read the book, The Power of Focus, and I always talk about the last chapter that spoke about the guys, these are the authors from Chicken Soup from the Soul. They wrote this book, The Power of Focus, and kind of broke down how they became successful. And the main thing at the end, they spoke about coming together, finding a team that works with them, someone to hold them accountable. That's how they stay focused. That's how they got the books done, because someone was on top of them. Someone held them accountable. They had groups and things of that nature in order to get to their goals. So someone to hold them to their consistency. And when I read that, I was like, that's what I need. That's what I need to be a part of. So not being able to find that, and purposely probably, it was something that I just eventually had to create myself. And it's been a blessing, and it's providing a space for others as well, without the pressure of some societal, financial focus or educational focus. They don't have to have PhDs, and we have those that are connected. Hey, Sister Yvonne, good morning. So it's definitely a thing that came more or less manifested, from a long time of sitting on, and the hardest part of it was the consistency to connect. That was like my breaking point. Like I had to get out of not wanting to connect, because keeping 100, staying connected takes a level of work, takes a level of sometimes just being uncomfortable. Like, I don't lean on the word, but I guess I use it as kind of like part of my struggle. You understand what I'm saying? And that introvertedness where, I don't feel like being bothered. Gerardo asked me, you didn't see that as a possibility with brothers at your church? Honestly, in all of the plethora of churches I've been a part of and left for various reasons that one day we'll talk about, there were like some like connections, but none to the point where we was gonna share openly, share authentically, because let's keep it weird, Draw, because I know you're believing. You go to church, like when someone's asked how you doing, it's rare that someone shares, man, my world is falling apart right now. Like, yo, I'm just happy I even got here. Because I've had those days, like I slide into the back and I'm just like, man, God, I just need a word. I just need a word. Like listen, the praise will get high. I ain't about to start shouting, not because I don't believe, but I'm just tired. Like, I just need a word. Like, praise the Lord. All right. Thank you, Jesus. Let me get this word. I need this word today. I would grab upon anything. I just need something. Like it's one of those, if anywhere's where I'm going to try to rest, this is where I need to just rest. But as far as connecting, I just never felt open to really have those conversations, if that makes sense. And I'm not putting it on them, I'm putting that on me. I just never felt like, this was the space, because a lot of times the default was, okay, let's just pray, without really having genuine conversations and follow-ups. When your life is really falling apart and everybody sees it, yeah, they come together, they rally, but never really the emotional rally, especially for men. We don't set it up where we can have those genuine conversations. At least I'll say for the circles that I ran in previously. I'll say it that way. I will say I did experience a time at a previous church before Solomon's Temple. Now, Solomon's Temple has been great. Pastor's been on it, and he's kind of helped shape, my brotherhood thinking. I just want to make that clear. Appreciate that, bro. He said, I feel you. And they used to have this men's Sunday school. And honestly, this was probably that had me see the possibility, because we would come in, they had the typical Sunday school book, and we discuss certain things, but there was always a level of authentic conversation. So that was probably my first exposure to it. Now, unfortunately, it's the conversations will only stay within those walls, meaning not as a secret, but it's just our connection will never grow outside of that space. So though that it kind of gave me the blueprint that this thing is possible, that we as brothers need this connection, there was no, hey, how are you feeling this week? Or, hey, what's going on? And all is well. Or even having calls where we're coming together and having discussions. So I felt like there was a need for a consistent reach out, consistent program. Because with Brothers of Legacy, people have joined up. Listen, I give people shout outs. I talk to folks consistently. Rollins is one of them. Good morning, my brother. That, we connect, and if there's anything that we're kind of going through, we have the discussion. And I'm gonna connect with you, Gerard, with this, because there's some other levels of Brothers Legacy that I'm working through. I haven't put it out there public because we're kind of trying to work out the foundational stuff of it. But yeah, so that connection with the brothers has been great, because as you know, me and my wife have reconnected, gotten back together, but it wasn't just simple. It took work, and we would go through things. And before the broadcast, more or less after, the broadcast would end, I'm like, brothers, this is what's going on in my life. I need something. I need a word. I need some help, And, I would sometimes display my situation. There would be some hold-ons. Then there'd be some portions that'd be like, brother, you need to get it together and stop acting like the fool. You need to open up. You need to break the silence going on in the household. You need to do something. You can't keep letting this happen. So I would get, called to the carpet, held accountable. And I'm like, I feel you. But I needed that. So I made the space. And other brothers have shared. And so it's definitely about, it's about that consistency, about creating the space in order to get better and to be better, and sometimes, we just have to know what we want and to consistently work for it, work towards it. Some of our struggle with the consistency is the fact that, it gets tough and it gets hard, and I don't feel like, because trust me, I have those days. Oh, want those days to do it. All right, so what we're going to do, I got to take a quick shift. We're going to take a break. And it's going to be weird, so just hang with us. I gotta get someone on here, and so we're running the intro again, so just hang tight. We'll be right back, because it's probably my longest, man. All right, we'll be right back.
I want to welcome you to the Brothers of Legacy broadcast, where we are changing our community one conversation at a time, every day.
We are creating a new legacy.
She gon' come, she gon' come, she gon' come, she gon' come, she gon' come.
A co-op has to start with ownership. We have a mindset of either I want to make a lot of money or survive. Make a bunch of money or I got to figure out how to survive.
When you have a real bond, when everyone has, we come in with real expectations. Because this is this is covenant.
The whole point is this, that we as a people, with our money and time, aren't often making this just possible, often vested in the legacy.
I can fix that. Okay. A little slow. We back. All right. In the building. Let me know if you see me. Say yes if you can hear me. Yes, yes. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hear my mouth? Yes. All right. Well, welcome back, guys. And see if you got it. All right. Yes. So, welcome. All right. So we're talking about consistency. It's been a crazy week. So very insightful conversation, really informative. Proud mom. Thank you, Mama Corey. So how you become consistently awesome. Thank you, Deborah. Being consistent and what you do to become, who you see yourself becoming. And I've always heard a saying, read a book some time ago about, we make a calendar or schedule things like we write out our monthly calendar, or even if you got a whole year that you create your calendar of things that you're going to do. And your calendar shouldn't consist just of a to-do list. That's nice. All right. Yeah. Just and all right. Sorry. Your calendar should consist of just your to-do list, but it should consist of what you're trying to become. If that makes sense. So whatever you're trying to become, whatever it is that you need to fix or know you need to change, this is the things that you should be putting on your calendar so that you become right. So we talk about the workout. And the workout thing is probably the easiest thing to describe, because we all have been in a place where we're trying to lose weight or gain muscle. And your consistency in what you do is what you become. And it becomes part of your habit, becomes part of your lifestyle. Because you just don't want to lose weight and boom, no more gym. You're going to lose weight and you'll consistently do these things so that you could become all that you've been called to become. So we talk about the gym, and so like, say you're trying to improve your relationship, improve your marriage, right? And you're saying one of the issues is communication seems to break down, right? This is where we get lost, the communication. So now on your schedule, scheduling the time to communicate your situation or communicate what's going on a daily basis. Because if there's a lot that you got to get through, then we set a communication time. Boom, at night before we go to bed, we're going to talk for at least 30 minutes to an hour. Just to sit down, turn the TV off, and let's talk and let's chat. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? Because for me, it definitely was a struggle sharing everything. All right. So coming to the stage, Pastor Brian A. McCrory, Senior, in an undisclosed location.
Yes, yes.
Good morning, Pastor. Good morning.
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes, indeed. Let's see, my good. I apologize. I figured you was away handling business. You know.
I was feeling neglected, man. Where's my link? I can't get on.
Right.
All this air and nowhere to push it.
So I appreciate you being on, sir. Appreciate you being on. So as you can see, today we're talking about, how you become what you do, what you consistently do. And so I'm gonna throw it to you because I've been talking for the last half hour. What, from where you were to where you are, what was some of the changes that you consistently started doing in order to help yourself become better? As far as not he said greetings, your most worshipfulness. I get what you're wrong. Yeah,
Everything
so
changes when you put a tie on.
so what is what is some of the things that you did consistently to kind of, because to get to where you are, of course it's a mind shift change, and then the actions and habits that keep you aligned, keep you in a space, even going from someone that just got saved to moving into pastor, or even your relationship, because there's the rocky moments in your relationship, and now things are tighter, things are better, or at least you are more in control of some of the things going around in your life.
So what habits changed?
Yes.
It goes back to something that I learned, and good morning, everybody. Good to see you all. I feel like it's been forever. It goes back to something I learned in my early childhood, watching TV and listening to my mom and stuff,
Right.
teachers. You are what you eat.
Right.
I had to begin to feed myself something different, change the information that was coming into my head, changing how I process my thoughts, all of that, changing my prayer life. If your direction is going to change, you have to change the type of information that you're taking in. In other words, you are what you eat. So a man thinketh, the scripture says, so is he.
Right.
A lot had to change in my mindset in order to affect change in my behavioral patterns, right? And so when my mindset began to change, my habits began to change. I started doing other things different, and then it's that fight to keep from falling back into your old habits. Right? The Bible talks about, when the spirit leaves a man, he goes out seeking dry places, finding none, he comes back, finding that house swept clean, and the spirit of that man is 7 times worse than the former. In other words, you have to fight to keep from going back to your old habits.
Right.
Because if you fall into your old habits, you become even more addicted to those old habits than you were the first time around.
Right.
And it's even harder to come out of it. So I had to start, like, when you exercise, what do you have to do? You have to get up, you have to make yourself get up. Right? Become what you consistently do. So if I develop a consistent exercise pattern of behavior, then at some point my body's going to respond to it. Right? But you have to get through the ugly phase. You have to get through the phase of pain, the discomfort, because when you first start doing all these things, it's a shock to your physical body. It's the same thing mentally. You start making changes in your life, it's a shock to your intellect, it's a shock to your mental capacity, and your mind wants to fight to go back into these old habits, but you have to press your way to remain consistent so that it becomes, or you become what you're doing.
Right. Definitely. Right.
Oh, there's an echo from me?
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's probably my end because I had to turn up the volume a little bit, so I'm sure it's reaching over and I'm getting the echo. So what is like, because that's a big one right there, like the fighting to not fall back into your old habits, or to stop your consistent progression, what are some of the things or ways that you keep from falling back into your old habits? Because you try to make forward progression, and then like last night, me and my wife were talking, and then there are those triggers that can send you backwards.
Yes.
Something happens, something breaks, an issue, a fight, situation, and then those triggers can, like, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to McDonald's. And so what is it for yourself? Like, what kept you or keeps you, from falling back when the triggers happen?
Remembering what drove me to change my behavior.
Okay.
I had to think about where I was. Like,
Right.
if let's say, for example, I spent time in transition. There was a time in my life, and you all have heard my story, where I was without a place to live.
Right.
What happens when you get a job, find a place to live, that paycheck comes in, you think you got some cash to spend, but rent is due.
Right.
And so you're thinking, you know what, I'll be late on rent this month. So that I can go do something that is fun.
Right.
I remember what I felt like being homeless.
Right. Right.
Man, you better go pay that rent and
Right.
hope you got an extra piece of change next month.
Right. Right.
So that you don't end up where you were.
Yeah.
Right. So
Definitely.
a lot of times you have to remember what triggered you to make the change.
Right.
And that memory of how you felt emotionally will keep you from going back to that comfort zone.
Right.
Right? You said,
Yeah.
I'm gonna run to McDonald's. Well, you remember how you felt when you stepped on the scale?
Right. Right.
You know
Yeah.
what? You gotta put that burger down.
Right.
You're
Right.
in a relationship. I want to go back. She was. I miss her.
Right.
You remember the emotional pain when she hurt you.
Right.
You remember the emotional pain when he hurt you.
Right.
You better not call that Negro.
Right. Right. Right.
Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
You're changing jobs. Well, it was easier to paint the house. Right? You remember that painting, the frustration when that paint got in your eye, or
Right.
do you recognize the difference with that being a job and this being a career opportunity?
Right.
You understand? Like
That's deep.
painting houses, you can only do that when the sun is shining, when the
Right.
weather's good. But in this particular career, it doesn't matter what the weather is, you can still get paid.
Right. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Definitely remembering, why you made the changes. That's big, because
I'm not coming against painters. I love y'all. Just an example.
the ones that are trying to get out of painting. But yeah, it definitely, because we tend to forget, in the journey, we tend to forget on the other side of the issues or the situation. We look back, and then I think when it gets tough in our new space, I could just go back to what I've been doing. I could just go back to the crack house. I could just go back to where I was, but not really focusing or not really remembering all how bad it was being in that space, how miserable you really felt. Whereas just right now, you're not comfortable. Just right now, you just having a rough space and realizing this will pass. Whereas before, miserable was your life. Miserable was just your lifestyle, and you just was in the slop. and not appreciating, the where you came from. And I think that we always have to have an appreciative moment. Like, it's rough right now, but I've come a long way. Remember 3 years ago, my rough was my life.
Yeah.
Now my rough is just momentarily, I'm living at least a piece of what I've imagined. At least I have some peace. You know, I have some control, and I think that's a big one. When you finally get some level of control in your life, you know, and you're not at the whims of somebody else or something else. You know, like you said with with the painting or the job that you left, you finally break free from the things that you used to complain about all the time. Remember, every day you would complain, I can't stand this particular thing, you know, but yet, you know, because it's rough, you want to go back to it, you know.
Yeah. Think about people that have, like, you're not from Georgia, you're from New York.
Right.
You moved to Georgia.
Right.
So what happened when you hit that first brick wall in Georgia? You know, how welcoming was the thought of going back to New York?
Right.
You know, how many people still live where they grew up because they tried to move, hit a brick wall, and ran back home?
Wow.
How many people have left the cover of their parents' home, and things got tight, and you ran back to your parents' house where there was safety and security?
Definitely.
And you're still there.
Right.
You know, so there's so many ways that, and what happened. And so what I'm saying is, it's the problem is not moving back home. The problem is becoming or consistently living as the child of your parents, as opposed to an adult. And that's why I tell young people there's a difference between being a young adult and being grown.
Right.
You might be old enough to vote, but you're not doing what grown folks do.
Right.
Grown is not who you are.
Right.
You are a young adult. You happen to be legal, but you ain't grown, because your habits are not the habits of somebody grown.
Right. That's true. That is true.
So until you begin to do what grown folks do, you haven't become grown.
Right. And I think that's big. You know, because we feel like, you know, I'm big enough in this space, but you're still in the process, you know, of growth and development, and you have to recognize, you know, where you are and be realistic that there is more to this journey. You know, there's more to this process. You're not at the end. You're probably either in the middle or just the real beginning stages. And like you said, the growing pains or the fear, like, you know, your story of when you moved, you know, how many things went wrong. Just like, am I really supposed to be here? Like, my bad, did I make a mistake? You know, like, was sister so-and-so right when she said I'll be back? Was she prophesying to me? You know, so it definitely, that level of regret gets there. He said, Robert said, I prayed before I left New York to move to Georgia, and I still said many times, did I really hear from God? Because he said hell broke loose.
Hell broke loose.
Yes.
Well, you know what's interesting is, hey Mom, good to see you too. Hell breaks loose in New York also.
Right.
But you're so comfortable and secure.
Right.
You can handle the beating in New York better than you can handle the beating where you moved to.
Right.
That's what you have to consider.
Yeah. Definitely.
I love the story right now going around about Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods validates that there are many people who play the sport of golf.
Right.
But there are few golfers.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Why do I say that? Because Tiger Woods is a golfer. This man's body was wrecked physically.
Right.
They didn't even think he would walk.
Right.
And here he is trying to determine whether or not he's going to play in the Masters this year.
Right.
Everybody's waiting for the final word. And when because for him, golf is life.
Yes.
He is a golfer.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
He wants to do nothing else. All of his promotions, being a father and all of that. I mean, this guy is a golfer, and everything in his life is about, when can I get back to the course? When can I get back to being who I am? I am a golfer.
Right.
Right? you know that's what he is when everybody else is saying, "I am Tiger Woods."
Right. Yep. Yes.
Right.
Yep. Indeed.
I love, you are what you consistently do. I used to ride my Harley Davidson so much that I was on my Harley more than I was in my car.
Wow.
I had more miles on my bike than I had in my car.
Wow.
Because I was a biker.
Right.
A lot of people out there who ride motorcycles.
Right.
But in that season, I was a biker.
Right.
Right.
That's good.
And then there are other people, they live their life on their motorcycle. Everything about their life, like that's a biker.
Right.
A lot of folks, you just ride motorcycles.
Right.
There are a lot of people that get in the kitchen and they can put a meal together.
Right. Right.
Right. There are a lot of people that can cook.
Right.
But my mama is a cook.
Right. 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 Right.
Because that's all she does. Your wife is a cook.
Yep.
And not that that's all she does, but know the difference between someone who can cook.
Yes.
And someone who is a cook.
Right. Right.
See, a cook can walk into a kitchen any time of day, no matter what's in the kitchen, and put something together.
Yes, I can.
People who can cook need a recipe. You need to figure some stuff out.
Yes, I need some help.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
So
definitely.
You do it consistently enough.
Yeah.
People can tell that's who you are.
Right. That's good. That's good. I think and that's key. And like that goes like both ways, your consistent bad habits become who you are. Your consistent good habits become who you are. And it speaks to your character. And the one thing I will say about consistency, either way it goes, I appreciate anybody that's consistent because I know what to expect. There are certain habits that from people like, hey, they're consistent. This is what I know to expect from them. Someone that's like great, but they're like a late person. You're like, I know they're gonna be late. It's the consistency. I just know the character. They're good people. You just know their timing. You just when you expect certain things. So like I said, like the consistency thing is, to me, is always my top. Like at least I know what to expect from you. I know, put you in a situation, certain conversation, I know where you're gonna go. I know what's gonna come out. And I think I love that about, expecting that in your character. It's the inconsistencies of, I don't know where you stand, I don't know where you're going, that it's hard to place you in certain situations or invite you over because I don't know who's coming. Like, which dude is coming today, Mm-hmm. And I think that's a big one in character. So if you're in your life, people should know at least, I know how Gerardo feels about such and such. I know how Mama McCory feels about certain things. But when we start a conversation, I know where she's gonna go. And even Pastor, like certain things. Oh yeah, me and Sam throw things at him because I was like, oh yeah, I got to see what Pastor's gonna say because I already know how he feels. I just get a kick out of him. Like I already know what he's gonna probably say. But yeah, that consistency.
Know the spirit of a person.
Yes, exactly.
A lot of folks don't know that Lisa Yeomans is a poet.
Right. That too.
Yeah.
That too.
She doesn't write poetry. She is a poet.
She is a poet, indeed. Like I'm a rapper, but y'all don't really know it yet.
Well. We have some rhymes.
I thought y'all slide that in there. Like, let me get on the back of Lisa Yeomans right there.
There has to be some receipts. Lisa has receipts. She's got some evidence.
I'm working on my evidence. I'm working on it. Right. Again, we appreciate
consistently rhyming and not rhyming, but writing poetry.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate you guys rocking and being with us. Make sure you share. Again, we want you rocking with the Brothers of Legacy every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Stay connected to us. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. Never miss a broadcast. Always know what's going on with the Legacy Walker Network. There you go. Take that.
AD Cotton Swab.
So like I said, today we're talking about, how you become what you consistently do. It's just about doing it. Whatever it is that you want to change in your life, you just got to begin to take the steps. There's no magic pill. There's no secret formula. The secret to getting to where you need to go is to consistently become that thing. I'm gonna tell you now, if you want me to be somewhere on time, you better tell me the wrong.
See, you know who you are, brother.
Right.
Okay. That's all right.
Right.
And if that habit is to change, you have to do something different. Like
Yes.
people. Give me a different time. Give me 30 minutes prior. If
Right.
that's if you want me there at 10 o'clock, please tell me 9:30.
Right. Right. We're gonna work on that, Jerome.
But
It's gonna be the year of change.
What you have to do is, if you got to be there at 10 o'clock,
Right.
and you normally get up at 8, and if
Right.
you're there at 10:30, get up at 6:30
Right. Right.
because hell breaks loose.
Yep. Yep.
You have to make room for hell to break loose.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely. Again, we appreciate you guys for being here, rock with us. Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy, where we don't stand out, we stand up. Make sure you share. Make sure you check out the Sisters of Legacy tonight, and maybe and we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, same time, same channel. I think we'll have Pastor in the building, and I'll make sure you get the link on time. I'm gonna take the L. He wasn't late. It was all me. All right. So as always, continue to stay safe. Make sure you're doing the right thing. Wear the mask or not.
Yes.
I don't know, but it seems like like I said before, I'm probably gonna be the last one wearing a mask when everyone else has stopped. But just be safe. Use wisdom. And we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. As always, stay safe. Know that we love you. God loves you more. And we'll see you in the AM. As always, we love you. Know that God loves you more. Stay safe.